So as you guys know, I like to make food and cook and stuff. It's fun. And I've been getting into pizza like ever since like COVID hit. Got a nice Dojo pizza steel for the oven and just been doing fun stuff with it, you know, making pizzas and stuff. At home, they're okay. The old lady, she likes them, but me, I'm like, they're not good enough. So anyway, I got something cool for my birthday. I want you to check it out. And I've only used it twice, but I'm finding out a good way to use it. So this video is for people who have these things that want to use them and use them the right way. And it's not that difficult. It's actually really, really easy and it works great. There's nothing to it. So let's get to it. There it is. I just put my Weber cover on it because I don't have a Pro cover. There's the cat. That goes there. We don't need that. Put that over here. Put that over here. Well, here's the deal. All the way. This is the Ooni Pro. This thing can use hardwood, charcoal, or wood pellets in the back here for a fire. Or if you want to get the propane attachment, you can do that. It hooks up to here. My brother-in-law has a propane attachment for his. It's killer. It works really quick. It's easy. There's not a lot of work to it. But you know, I don't have it. And you know what? I don't know if I'll get it. I'm not in like a real big hurry to get it. I'm gonna clean this out. Put that back. But you know, I've been using it with hardwood and lump natural charcoal for the fire, and it works really good. First thing you do is you got to get one of these things. This chimney. This thing is great. Stuff the bottom with newspaper, maybe a little bit of birch bark, just stuff that isn't going to be contaminate. You know, I'll you know, quick burning stuff. You don't want to put like cardboard with printed ink on it in there or anything. Then I usually fill it up about 3/4 with charcoal, a mix of it, different sizes and stuff. Get it going over there on that piece of cement. And once it's like, you know, 3/4 of the way, like burning pretty good, it's like doing its thing, I just bring it up, dump it in there, put the lid on, and then put the door on. And then this is the draft. This is basically the damper for this section here. There's two different ways you can use the damper. This is closed all the way. That's open all the way, right? And then here in the front is another little gizmo that opens and closes the main feed for this. And I keep that wide open. That stays wide open all the time, and I just use this. So right from the get-go, the charcoal that's going in there is already burning pretty good when I get it in there. And I set this to 1/4 of the way. It's not all, I mean, it's like basically halfway turned off. So it's like that on an angle like that. And that's where I leave it and put the door on. And I let her get up to about 750 degrees with, you know, in there. And then that seems to work really good. And I can cook a pizza really good without even having the door on. A lot of the problems people have with these things is they say that they have to have the door on. You got to keep taking the door on and off. I don't find that to be the case. You get her nice and tempered. You get her up to temperature, and you know, you let it burn for a while, get the whole thing nice and hot. You're good to go. You just got to make sure you keep feeding the fire. So let's get to this. Okay, so the bottom is stuffed pretty good with newspaper. Single, don't keep it doubled up. Open it up, crumple it up pretty good. Pack it right full. And then the first couple layers, so you want like smaller mid-sized stuff that can ignite quickly. And that goes in the whole first layer. Important. There's a couple of things we're gonna go through here as we do it. You can use gloves too. I mean, look at that. But I usually just do this and go inside and wash my hands. Smaller stuff, real small stuff in the bottom. That'll just go through the grate, so you can put a little finer stuff up in this middle there. And then right around here is where I start using slightly bigger stuff. Not huge, slightly bigger. See that? What we got in here? There's some big chunks. Big chunks are fine. Big chunks are fine because take a chunk like that, all you gotta do is hit it with a small hatchet and break it up. Don't be afraid to use a hatchet. Keep going. Getting there. Pardon the senseless pause here. going. She's getting there. That's about right. That's about how much you want right there. Not all the way full, but about right there. A couple different ways you can light it. Just a regular lighter down there works pretty good. But I got one of those clicky things, clicky lighters. Those work good. I also have a little torch that works real good. I go all the way around the bottom. And just to tell you now, what I do is I have backup newspaper on hand, because sometimes one burn of this doesn't get it quite going good enough. But it's really easy to just tilt back. That stays nice and cool, the handle. You tilt it back, throw some more newspaper underneath there, and just do a double burn. Works really good, and it doesn't take very long. I mean, this whole process of getting this chimney going like this, you're talking like, 10 minutes maybe to get that going before you're dumping it in the unit. Okay, but while this thing's going, the first fire, while it's going, you come over here and just take like a moist rag or something and just kind of clean out anything that's in there. You can see this thing's virtually new, but I'm gonna clean that out. But let's get that light. What do we got? Pardon the mess. Been busy lately. My buddy Tony got married last weekend. I think I told you, maybe I didn't tell you that, but I was honored by being the officiator of that. That was weird. Marrying people's a strange thing. Emotions run high. Go around. Torch this sucker. Sometimes I just leave it in there for a couple seconds. Let it get going. And that's it. I leave that. Let's see here. This side didn't get going very good. It's all part of it, guys. All part of it. You gotta do it right way first time. But these things are killer and they're cheap. They work great for little Weber grills and stuff too, but that's what I originally had it for. So this pizza oven, you can see in there, it's actually burning. We'll leave this, set this aside. Phew, been a long day. Hopefully that gets going. And if it doesn't, we know what to do. Come back and torch it again. So let's get that pizza oven cleaned out. All right, doesn't take much, just get it cleaned. Now, if you're doing like a pizza party with like lots of pizzas, you're gonna want to put something like this on some kind of device, like so that you can get in there and do it. You don't want to ever stick your hand in there. But that, I'll do that at some point. But for right now, I'm just in the business of making 1 or 2 pizzas, and at a time. It's okay. It's all good. I think I might get into the business of making my own charcoal too. That's a whole different animal. I might get into that at some point. But that could be cool. Stuff isn't expensive, but it's not cheap either. Is she going? I think she's going. Leave her like that for a little bit. All right, guys. It's been like 7 minutes, and I didn't need to do 2 burns with the newspaper. So that's about where you want it. Just like that. You see. You can see in there, there's a lot of stuff that isn't burnt. I'm just gonna take that and dump it in there, but I'm not gonna do that on video because I have to have my concentration. This is just some hardwood that I chopped up. Some of the firewood I have, nice short little pieces. You got this bad boy like that. We're just gonna go boom, 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 throw that like that. Cover, make sure she seats on there, and there you go. And like I said, I don't really mess with this. Keep that about 45 there, like that. And we're gonna take the door. We're just gonna go like this. Boom, put the door on. And there we go. We have a fire. And it's doing good. And you just sit there. And this thing is gonna sit there and do its thing for, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. Let it get up to temperature. And then once it's at, if you can see in here, there's like a red and yellow line. Once it's near the red line, but not quite, that's kind of good. And if it starts to go over that, then you can take the damper and turn it down a little bit. And then you want it to sit at that temperature there, which is 750 for at least 5-10 minutes to make sure that the stone inside there is getting nice and hot. I'm just gonna let you know too, another thing to be wary about is if you're doing this on a porch, covered porch with your ceiling, make sure that your ceiling is pretty high above you. If you get that thing raging and the heat is just pumping out towards the top of the ceiling, you might, you know, damage your ceiling, or potentially, I mean, you could get a fire going, which wouldn't be good. But this seems to do good here, and it drafts out. I have a temperature gauge here. I usually give her a zap here, give her a zap there, try to make sure we're doing good. And then I can turn the fan on. It works really good. Ceiling never gets real hot. Works good. So this is where it's living. In the summertime with the propane, we had it out there because we were worried that it was gonna get the ceiling too hot. But that's it right there. We're gonna let her cook. We're gonna let her cook. Here's the dough, just using frozen dough that's been out of the freezer in here for about 5 hours. Perfectly proofed, ready to go. This is where I'm gonna stretch it here. Once it's all stretched, put the sauce on, toppings, whatever. And then this is the key here. This is the paddle that I use. I'm gonna take this semolina flour and we're just gonna put a light dusting on this. And then that goes under the pizza directly into the oven. That way the moisture from the dough doesn't stick down here and she don't stick. It works really good. See that little dusting? That's all you need. Make sure you cover all the surfaces with no bare metal on there. Just got a little dusting. And I usually do it in the sink. Take one hand, put it here, just kind of scoot around the sink. That way the leftovers go in there. It's good to go. Tonight we're doing store-bought sauce too. Last time I did sauce from the garden, it was killer. But tonight, no ripe tomatoes. So we're doing that. We're gonna be doing this sauce, which is actually really good, that Del Grosso. It's a pretty good sauce. And then we're going to put cheese on it, and then raw garlic is gonna go on top of it. Raw, I'm not cooking it or anything. And then some raw shredded basil. I'm gonna shred that up, put it on top. And in the uni it'll go. Yep. All right, guys, I'd say it's been maybe 10, 12 minutes since we put the charcoal in there. One thing you gotta worry about too, backdrafts, this thing does shoot out some little sparks once in a while. You can see them down here on the ground. Eventually, what I'm gonna do, because this is new and this is just like, you know, here for now, but eventually what I wanna do is put like a heat shield down, maybe tile this part of the porch. And this table I'm gonna have it on is gonna be a better table too. It barely fits on there, but it does fit, and it's ceramic. You want something that's not gonna be flammable to keep it on. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Ooh, she's just about there. Look at that. That's about right where you want it, right there. That I find is a good pizza cooking temperature, because it not only does it cook the pizza pretty quickly, but it's not too hot. The very first time I did this thing, I burnt the pizza in like half a second, because I heard from people that have these things, oh, you got to get it super hot, this and that, and you know, it's so hard to get it hot when you're just using charcoal, and it's so hard to get it hot when you're using just wood or whatever. And so I listened to them, and I got it super hot and put the pizza in, and it burnt like 2 seconds, and the top was all raw. It sucked, but you know, it was a learning experience. So this right here, we have it just about right where you want. You don't want it in the red. And then I'm gonna take this thing here, the little draft thing, I'm just gonna turn it down. Ooh, it's hot. Turn it down just a little bit, right there. And see, and another, maybe like 5-10 minutes, see what we got for temperature. And if it's holding like that, then we know it's good. And then we can, you know, form the pizza, shove her in, and cook it. And I'll show you what we're doing with that. Another new addition to the pizza arsenal is this little bad boy. This is a turning paddle. This thing's little, and you can work around the pizza, and you can spin the pizza. You're supposed to be able to. I've never used one, but this is a small paddle. That's for small pizza. But the big one I showed you inside, there's only limited space in here. You can cook a 16-inch pizza, but you got that big paddle in there like that. You try to spin the pizza around, you can't do it. You got to take it, you got to pull it out, you got to spin it around on the paddle with your hands. It's super hot, not cool. So, you know, I'm gonna see how this works. Can't do it on camera because, you know, shooting it with my phone. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna try it. I'll let you know how it works. And maybe some other time I'll do a better video, well, better produced. But like I said, I just want to show you guys what's going on, and that, you know, if you get one of these things, that has the charcoal, that it's not as complicated and difficult as people make it out to be. I mean, that thing's holding temperature right there really, really nicely. That's where you want it, right in that area there. Look at that. Perfect. So let that go for another, I don't know, 5-10 minutes or something. Make sure the stones inside are the same temperature. That's really important, guys. You want the stones inside to be the same temperature as everything else in there, so they hold the heat. So when you're cooking the pizza with the door off, you got the heat there. It's all good. Just look at it. Super cool. It's a cool design. I'm so psyched to have this thing. I mean, you know, it does take longer this way than propane. This whole process is probably, you know, about a half an hour, maybe slightly more, but you could say about a half an hour to do this. And the one with the propane, you just light it and you're good to go. You get it up to temperature. It's supposed to be ready to rock in 20 minutes without any real work. But, you know, what do we got for temp? She's dropping just a slight bit. I'm gonna open this up just a little bit. Just a little bit like that. Keep her like that. Now, gonna go in, make that pizza, and then we're gonna come back out here and we are going to cook a pizza, guys. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, so this is ready. As you can see, it's all set up like that, ready to go. Gonna slip that paddle, boom, underneath there, take it out, stick it in the oven. And there you have it, she's in there. Now we're gonna look at the back of the pizza for bubbling, such things, and we're gonna, once it starts getting a little bubbly back there, we're gonna try to spin it around a little bit and make sure that none of it gets overcooked. But yeah, cool, huh? This little thing, I gotta tell you, works friggin' awesome. You see that part there was in the back. Like this, spin it around. So to do camera work and this at the same time, but you know, you can move the pizza around without you taking it out. Pretty awesome. And there you go, guys. That's how you uni. This thing was in there for about 3 minutes. I spun it. I kept spinning it, keeping an eye on where the edges were getting cooked. And I mean, that's done. I mean, it's perfect. Oh, look at that. Oh, the crust is freaking dynamite. She's perfect, guys. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, or comment, or if you have any ideas of your own that might make it cool, please let me know. Peace.